Welcome back to the True Event Archive, my friends. It's always a good feeling when you walk in here. Whether this is your first time joining us or you've been coming back week after week, thank you. Truly, this is your place. A quiet corner where we sit together, lights low, and we talk about the real stories. The ones that refuse to be solved. The ones that still keep investigators and ordinary people awake at night. No hype, no rush, just the facts and the questions they leave behind. If you're new here, welcome home. Pull up a chair, get comfortable. You're among people who love these mysteries just as much as you do. Today, we're stepping into one of the most terrifying, most intelligent, and still completely unsolved serial killer cases in American history. A killer who mocked the police, taunted the newspapers, and left behind ciphers that experts are still trying to crack more than 50 years later. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer. Take a slow breath with me, because once we begin, the shadows start to move. It was a warm summer night in 1969, Vallejo, California. A young couple, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, had just left a Christmas concert at their high school. They were teenagers in love, full of that sweet, innocent excitement that only exists at that age. They drove to a quiet, secluded spot called Blue Rock Springs, a place young people went to talk, to kiss, to feel like the world belonged only to them. They parked. The radio was playing softly. The moon was bright. Then, headlights appeared behind them. A car pulled up. Someone got out. And in the next few minutes, everything changed forever. David and Betty Lou were shot at point-blank range. David was killed instantly. Betty Lou tried to crawl away, but the killer walked up and shot her 5 more times in the back. The killer didn't rob them. He didn't take anything. He simply got back in his car and drove away into the night. That was the first confirmed Zodiac murder, but it was far from the last. What made this killer different, what made him truly terrifying, was that he didn't hide. He wanted the world to know exactly who he was. Just weeks after the Blue Rock Springs attack, the killer sent his first letter to 3 different newspapers: the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the San Francisco Examiner. Inside each envelope was a piece of cloth stained with the victim's blood, and a cipher. A complex 408-symbol cipher that he claimed would reveal his identity. He signed it with a strange symbol, a circle with a cross inside it, the same symbol he would use for the rest of his reign of terror. He called himself the Zodiac. And from that moment on, Northern California lived in fear. A killer who not only murdered innocent people, but then sat down and wrote letters to the newspapers, mocking the police, giving them clues, and daring them to catch him. He wasn't hiding in the shadows. He was playing a game. And the whole Bay Area became his chessboard. Between December 1968 and October 1969, the Zodiac claimed 5 confirmed victims and said he had killed many more. He shot couples in lovers' lanes. He stabbed a taxi driver in the back of the head and left him bleeding in the street. He even attacked a couple at Lake Berryessa in broad daylight, wearing a hooded costume with the Zodiac symbol stitched on the chest, and stabbed them repeatedly while they begged for their lives. One of the survivors, Brian Hartnell, later described the killer's voice as calm, almost polite, as if he was doing a job. The killer tied them up, talked to them for a few minutes, then stabbed them over and over. He left them for dead. Then he walked to their car, wrote the Zodiac symbol and the date on the door with a black marker, and drove away. He was in complete control. But the letters are what made the Zodiac legendary. He wrote to the newspapers again and again, sometimes 3, 4, 5 letters in a single week. He sent them coded messages, taunts, and threats. He claimed to have killed 37 people. He said he was collecting slaves for the afterlife. He drew crosses, circles, and strange symbols. Every single time he ended with the same chilling signature: Zodiac. The FBI got involved. Cryptographers from all over the country tried to break his ciphers. One of them, the 408 symbol cipher, was finally solved in 2020 by a team of amateur codebreakers. It took them years, and when they finally cracked it, the message was even more disturbing than anyone imagined. But 2 other ciphers, the Z32 and the Z13, remain unsolved to this day. Let that sink in. A killer from the 1960s still has secrets that modern technology, supercomputers, and the best minds in cryptography cannot unlock. The investigation became one of the largest and most expensive in California history. Hundreds of suspects were questioned. Thousands of tips poured in. The police followed leads from San Francisco to Riverside to Southern California. One name stood out more than any other: Arthur Lee Allen. He was a convicted child molester. He owned the exact type of shoes the killer wore. He had the same type of watch the killer described. He even told friends he wanted to kill people and become famous like Jack the Ripper. The police searched his house. They found bloody knives. They found Zodiac-like writings. They found a book with underlined passages that matched the killer's letters. But they never had enough evidence to charge him. Arthur Lee Allen died in 1992, still a free man. And the Zodiac case remained open. Even today, in 2026, the case is still active. New DNA testing techniques are being used. Amateur investigators are still working on the remaining ciphers. Books and documentaries continue to come out every year. Some researchers believe the Zodiac is still alive. Others are convinced he died decades ago. A few even claim he was multiple people, or part of a larger group. But the truth is, no one knows. The Zodiac Killer is one of the very few serial killers in history who truly got away with it. He killed, he taunted, he disappeared, and he left behind a trail of fear and unsolved ciphers that still fascinates the world more than half a century later. So tell me, family, what do you think really happened? Was the Zodiac Killer Arthur Lee Allen? Was he someone the police never even suspected? Is he still out there somewhere? An old man carrying the darkest secret in American crime history? Or was he something even more disturbing? A man who simply enjoyed the game more than the kills. I read every single comment on these videos. I really do. Your theories, your questions, your personal connections to these stories. They mean everything to me. This channel exists because of people like you who love diving into these unsolved cases as much as I do. If this story gave you chills, if it made you feel uneasy, if it left you wanting more, please do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It helps the channel grow so much. And if you're not already subscribed, I'd love for you to join the True Event Archive family today. We have so many more mysteries coming. American cold cases, ancient Greek enigmas, forgotten tragedies from around the world. I don't want you to miss a single one. Drop your theory in the comments right now. Tell me who you think the Zodiac Killer really was. Let's talk about it together. Thank you again for spending this time with me. Thank you for caring about the victims. Thank you for being part of this community. Until the next mystery, stay curious, stay safe. I'll see you very soon.